What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out the Dungeon Beneath. This is a game we've covered a couple times in the past. This is a dungeon-crawling auto-battler roguelike, where you assemble a party, and the game has lots of fun synergies. It's a very creative game. It's a very customizable game. And the reason that we are diving back on in now is because the game just got an undead update. So, they've added an entire new faction to the game. That's the best part about this game, is that the developers just kind of like tirelessly support this thing by adding new stuff to it. So we're going to dive on in today, and we're going to play for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to try to prioritize grabbing undead units so that you guys can see the new faction play. If you wanted to get this game after I showed it off here today, I've got a link for you like I always do down below in the description. And then on top of that, you will also be able to find links to my Discord and my Twitch stream down there just in case you wanted to hang out live. Pretty strong chance that I'm going to end up playing the game this week on stream at some point because I like this game. Anytime I get an opportunity to blow through it, you better believe I'm going to spend the afternoon trying to get the best party together to be as OP as possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play the game. New game here. I want to pick up a hero that has like an undead bonus. At the beginning of the game, you select what hero you want to play, and every single hero has different perks that make it more likely that they'll get certain units. They all start out with a different relic that makes different stuff happen. I know which guy I'm looking for. There's a guy that's like pre-built for the undead, so I just gotta find him in here. Let's see here. We've got Elsbeth. She's new. I don't think this is a character that I've ever seen before. Anybody can kind of get the skull tag that makes them more likely to get undead allies. But anyways, she's got a stone over here, the Essence Collector. When a non-summoned ally dies, summon 2 Blood Wisps. That's good because there's a new mechanic that you need to learn how to play. When it comes to playing the undead, they've got a new mechanic called souls, basically, which are like currency that make them stronger. We've also got Alliance of the Skull. That means we're more likely to get undead allies. We've got Alliance of the Hammer, which means we're more likely to get dwarves. I would say, yeah, let's go ahead and try out Elsbeth. She's got really low HP, and that kind of worries me. But, you know, I'm all open. We're doing a new patch with a new build and new things and new stuff, so let's just go for it. Here for, oh, it's you. Ever hopeful, huh? Well, go on in then. All right, and so this is the game. We go down into the dungeon, and we're going to square off with different enemies. The game uses a grid-based system. Different classes can be in different spots, which will allow them to do different things, and then basically you tell them to fight the enemy, and they do exactly that. They go and they fight the enemy until somebody wins. We've got a bonus here. I can only get Blood of Abaddon for right now, but that gives us 8 gold to play around with, which is nothing to sniff at. We've got a Squire over here. Give another ally in this lane +1 power. It's not bad, but it's not good either, because then I got to leave something open over here. Until we get to start to build our party custom, it's going to be a little bit rough, but I promise it's going to be all right. So we've got the dungeon boss, the Watcher. Targets a random character in any lane. Sounds good. Send it. I'm happy with my formation. And so what it's going to do is it's going to work its way through all of my characters. Every character has an icon on them that denotes how much they attack for, how much HP they have. If they die, they're not dead for good. But they cannot receive XP at the end of the fight if they die. Well, these guys are kind of speedy, man. I don't really want to soak a hit, though. I'd prefer not to anyways. I'm not planning on leveling up any of these guys, so I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I would have liked to have started with somebody that was actually worth leveling up, but unfortunately, we did not. That guy dying triggered our effect, which summoned a whole bunch of little fiery wisps that are going to help us out in combat, but it doesn't matter because we completed the objective, which was to kill the enemy hero. In this game, the enemy's gate is always down. You only need to kill the enemy boss, and you will win the fight. And so there's lots of creative things you can do to kind of work around that restriction. Let's see if we can draft some decent units at this first campfire. So at the first campfire, we have dwarf fighters. It looks like we've got a steel summoner. Let's re-roll it. We've got plenty of time to play around with. We've got a Taurus guard. It looks like he's got 6 HP. Give all other allied undead +1 armor, max souls +1. Sounds good. Welcome to the squad. Then we'll re-roll it one more time. It didn't look like we got anything. Re-roll it again. I'm trying to lean into the undead guys pretty hard right now, in all honesty. We are getting a lot of dwarves and things, and I do think that the dwarf berserker is pretty good, so I will probably pick up a dwarf berserker. I was sort of hoping... there we go. A necromancer. He can summon a skeleton. That's the good stuff right there. I'll take it. Aside from that, if I sell a guy, I could pick up like a fill-in guy. But for right now, I'd say we just cruise with what we have. Let's go ahead and fight Faxel Fetterbite, I guess. All right, buddy. What does he do? Deal 1 damage to the nearest enemy and then change lanes. All right, so what do we have going on here? We've got Faxel Fetterbite. He deals 1 damage to the nearest enemy and then he changes lanes. We got archers all over the place over here, so we're going to be dodging a lot of flying sharp sticks. That's the feeling that I've got. Still, if we can kill off a couple guys, we can spawn a skeleton that can attack from any range, and she buffs summon creatures. So, I think leaning into the summoning angle is a really, really good idea. For right now, though, we just need to nuke our way through the enemy and finish this thing. Oh, he's got a counterattack, too. Don't you just love to see that? Okay, fair enough. We have no souls to play with right now. Soul cast 1, deal 1 damage to the nearest enemy. Yeah, go ahead and do that. There we go. So now we have 1 soul back. It was basically a free cast because we get a soul every time we kill something. So it cost 1, then we got 1 back. So that works out. What does he do? Give all other allied undead 1 armor, max souls plus 1. Not going to worry about that too much right now. We'll go ahead and just start hacking through the enemy. My poor little squire might not make it. He's going to catch a lot of counters here today. Well, there you go. The fight is now officially over. We've mashed our way through the enemy hero. There was no side objective that we needed to accomplish, but we've got decent money stacked up right now, and we got our first XP potion, and we've got to decide where we want that to go. Let's go ahead and let's start buffing up our frontline tank. It takes 3 XP in order to level up, and every character can be between level 1 and 3. They also have equipment slots. They get 1 equipment slot per level that they have. Let's get this treasure chest. Maybe there's something good inside of there. Treasure chest, what you got for me? Treasure chest has a cracked soul. Battle start, gain a soul, and you can hold 1 more soul. That's actually pretty nice. I'll probably put just on my hero. I could put it on like anybody, but I'll put it on my hero for right now. And then let's see what we've got in this next fight. When an allied beast dies, summon a dire rat. That's actually really good for us because we're going to get tons and tons and tons of souls in order to get this thing done. So let's go ahead and fire off right there. That created a gap in the center lane. We're supposed to kill this guy right here. That's our side objective to get $5. And I think it's a really good idea to do so, but he's going to move after this turn. I think he despawns after like 2 turns. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and get some damage moving on out. We got 1 hit on him. Very, very nice. Okay, fight's not quite over yet. So he moved to the center lane. That actually works out really well for us because I can ace him right there, which means that we got our bonus objective. And then we can summon a skeleton. There we go, just to add a little bit of extra oomph to one of the lines. Okay, another one bites the dust. Unfortunately, we got to mash our way through the pots, but when you're playing as the undead faction, that's actually not that bad. And I'll tell you why, because pots and crates and barrels and things like that have souls in this game. So when you're playing as the undead, a lot of the problems that affect other people actually make you a little bit stronger, in my opinion. We'll go ahead and grab some cash here, and then we've also got a potion of experience, which we will absolutely throw on our hero right here one more time. And then we've got an option here of where we want to go. So we can go take a deal. I think that guy's name is Banthor or something like that. I forget his name, dude. He's got some, like, Thundercat sounding name. Anyways, he'll give us a deal, which gives us a bunch of money, but makes our next fight harder. Or we can just go to a campfire and see if we can round out this team. And since we've still got default characters with us, I would like to round out the team. We have a Fallen Adept, and so there's a couple lines of thought that we can play around with here. The Fallen Adept has a better version of her ability. So she's got Soulcast 1. He's got Soulcast X, which means that he gets a multiplier for how many souls you spend when he fires. This guy can shoot for ridiculously huge nuke values. Like, I'm not even joking. I've hit for like 25 damage with this guy and like one-shot bosses. He is gnarly. So we're going to go ahead and take him because I think he's a good addition. Now, this leaves us kind of in a little bit worse of a spot, though. The reason being is we need more frontline tanks because we're always going to have one lane that is down for the first turn until we can get skeletons spawned to hold this lower lane. And so a little bit of a risky play right here. We have a character or we've got a main hero who's very, very weak and cannot take a lot of hits. And yet we need to have an open lane in order for this strategy to run. So normally I would recommend if you're going to try to run this strategy right here, I would recommend that you take a hero that's basically like a Death Knight and has a lot of HP, like 12 or 15 HP, because damage is going to sneak through with this strategy. There's just no way around it. It's going to happen. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. But anyways, Flit Fetterbite. Apparently we killed off his brother or his cousin or somebody, and now we got to deal with him. I'm okay with this arrangement right here. We started off with a little bit of mana right there, so I'm going to soul cast down that barrel, and then I'm also going to do nothing. I'm going to sit, and I'm going to do absolutely nothing. We have a healing fountain on this map. Some of the random battlefields will have a thing in them. It'll be like a flame that hurts one person, and it can be anybody on any side. Sometimes it's a healing fountain. Ooh, my wizard is already dead? That's unfortunate. I wish that my wizard was not dead. You healed him? Why would you do that? I can't believe you've done this. How absolutely rapturously awful of you. Okay. Let's go ahead then. We'll fire off some damage right there, I think, so that at least something sneaks through and we can kill him on this turn. I don't think there's any point in saving souls, because A, I'm not a church, and B, I don't think you carry him to the next fight anyways, so it shouldn't be like that big of a deal having spent all of our souls before we go into another fight, but I will verify right here whether or not that's the case. He has now leveled up. Every single character changes appearance when they level up. It's a nice little detail that I enjoy very much about this game. For Soulcast 1, we can give allied undead +2 armor, which is pretty nice. And so we'll go ahead and have him where he's at. I think this is an upgraded bonfire. It gives you better stuff and better heroes. But I'm pretty happy with our comp right now. So I think I'd like to go for a treasure chest. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the treasure chest is what I want to go for. And we got the Adept's Stave. All right. I think the Adept's Stave can go... Oh, I don't know. We'll put it on whoever's safest. That gives him a little bit of extra attack power. That's really nice to have. It's going to make him hit a little bit harder. And then we'll jump on into the next fight and kind of see what it's got on offer for us. This little fuzzy buddy right here gives a random ally beast +1 attack. Okay. We are on a trap field right now, which is unfortunate. But in order to cover my lower lane, I think I'm going to have to leave him up. I want to go ahead and fire something off right there. Fire something off right there, just to clear them a little quicker, because these guys are going to have the initiative advantage. And that worries me. There's a kill. There's a hit. There's a barrel down. There's a little more damage and a little more damage. And we should be able to finish this thing right now, unless he summons a whole bunch of critters. There it is. Oh, no. We're not done yet. Okay, fair enough. Let's go ahead and run it one more time. They should finish him off pretty quickly. I don't know who our fastest character is. Him. So there you go. It took like 3 extra attacks to get it done. Everybody survived. We're all happy here. We took no damage on our heroes, so we got a nice little 5 gold bonus. Very nice. Who do I want to level up next? I think that I would like to level up... I thought we had somebody around here that buffs everybody's attack. Maybe not. Maybe I've been operating under false pretenses. We got 13 bucks, so I'm going to go to the store vendor and see if he's got anything that can help me round out my team and get a little bit stronger. He's got a potion belt. He's got a anti-venom ring. He's got a sunstone. And he's also got a doomed amulet. I think the sunstone sounds pretty... Oh, it's mage only. Bummer. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll refresh the store because I want to see... That's actually kind of what I was thinking of right there. A big, beefy shield for one of these guys that will make them... He's already slow as hell, so we might as well throw it on him. That gives him 12 HP to play around with, which in the context of this game is a pretty raw amount of health. And let's go see if we can tackle this boss. I don't know if this team is going to make it that far into the second act. Just because of this open lane that we have on the bottom right here. The open lane concerns me. But for now... Yeah, give me some armor. And then we'll start it off. We'll pull the ripcord on this thing. We'll pull the ripcord nice and hard. Little damage out to the boss right there. We got our soul back. Armor ate that damage right there, which is great. Killed off a skeleton that was on the ground, so that's good. I'm glad that we have some extra tank on him because this guy double attacks and deals 4 damage. So that's going to be problematic. Now that that lane is clear, I'm going to move him down to here. If you move a character at the beginning of the round, they can't act during that round, in case you were wondering. We will go ahead and we will put a skeleton into play, and let's get moving. Nice little hit. Nice little hit. You love to see it. Just keep stacking that damage up and making it happen. We are soaking some damage right now. We are soaking some pain. I'm going to move them around to save him because I'd like to level him up after this fight. We have no souls, so there's not really anything else to do except for, like, run it back, basically. He's going to kill that. Gave us a soul. Very nice. And the damage went out, and the fight is a dunzos. The ceiling is going to crumble a little bit, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's just shoddy craftsmanship. We got a real bad general contractor inside this dungeon. We'll get a treasure, so we can get Edric's Boots. Your hero attacks an additional time. That's actually really good. Summoned allies gain +1 attack. That is also really, really good for us since we're running the Necromancer strategy. I think that all of these have merit, but I'm going to take Arilari's Stone. And then I will think about dropping this mage so that I can pick up another character and he can just focus on summoning skeletons the whole time. Is kind of where I'm at with this logic. We'll level up this undead squire over here. He is now a soul drinker. He's got 9 HP, and if you have 2 or more souls, he restores 2 health. So his tankiness just went up pretty considerably. There's not much that we can do with the health potion right there, so I'll just go ahead and sell it. If I forgot to sell any health potions in previous rooms, I apologize for that. I forget to sell my health potions all the time, like constantly. It's one of those things that, like, I know I should do it, and then I forget. We have a potion vendor. Transforms a fighter into a multi-class, letting them use equipment from any class. That would actually be pretty nice. We've also got an XP potion over here, which I also think is pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and put that on the Necromancer. I will multi-class him so that he can equip more equipment and he can put whatever he wants on himself because I would like for him to have that staff right there. Good. Let's go fight some snakes, shall we? Not a big snake guy. Never had a problem fighting snakes. Snakes are a devil animal, in my opinion. They are a devilish devil animal. I don't know what I want to do right here. We need to do something. Because he can't tank that center lane. We're going to run the same strategy back. I'm going to spend a soul to get armor on everybody. Because it's only 2 damage that we need to soak. And then we'll just send it, because they should knock down this zombie on the first turn. These zombies have to be killed twice, which is a little bit more of a headache, but kind of is what it is. Sort of the nature. Oh, he moved around. Oh, very unfortunate. Okay. Run it back again. Give me some more armor so that I can soak that hit one more time. And we need to get some kills on this turn. That's what we need to do. We need to fish out some murder here. So he should still go down, I think. Good. Good, even better. And that's going to allow me to summon a Skeletor on the bottom row. He's going to get +1 attack, which is very, very nice. He should be able to give and take some damage down here. And then we'll armor him up too. And then we'll send it. And this should pretty much be game for this guy. There we go. Finished it off nice and sweet. The snake death has been concluded. Those of you that are fans of snakes can return to viewing the video. It's not your fault. I think snakes are a devil animal. That's just the way that I feel. I think they're a devilish devil animal, and they're up to no good. All right. What do we have? We don't have a lot of money to play around with, which is a little bit concerning. I do think that something frontline would be nice, but then we won't have a whole lot of DPS. Cleric of the Hammer might work here. He doesn't benefit from the armor buffs, though, and things that we're getting from other people. Let's risk it for the biscuit. When this character gains health, your hero gains 1 power. Okay, give all allied mages 1 power. Not bad, actually, for a gnome fighter. I think I can go for that. This may be a weird play for this late in the game, but actually, it'll hold for now. It gives us another frontline guy that can tank a little bit, and that's all that I really care about. Let's spend our soul blowing up that eyeball right there. And then there's nothing left to do except for open up on the enemy. 1 damage out right there to our gnome, but he killed that guy off. A little bit more damage out. What's going to happen here is when we kill these eyeballs, they're going to split all over the place. We don't mind that, though. Ooh, 5 damage. Good lord. He gets attack every time we kill one of his eyeballs, huh? Oh, he gets +1 attack for every ally on the board. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Give me a skeleton. Give me a soul cast right there, just to nerf what's happening here ever so slightly. Unfortunate. The turn timing was off. No, it wasn't. We should be okay. Acceptable. Fire another bolt. Give me another skeleton. Anything you can do, I can do better. Summon an eyeball and I will kill you. Of course they're focus firing him. Of course they are. They randomly decide who they're going to hit, but they randomly decided to hit my most wounded guy over and over and over again. Concerning. Not the best. Isn't she a mage? Shouldn't she be getting a +1 from the gnome fighter? Yay? Nay? Is that a thing? Well, technically she's a hero, so makes sense. Level up the necromancer. I don't know if that's going to make his skeletons cheaper, if it's going to make them hit harder. I just made his attack go up. Okay, I was hoping the skeletons would get some kind of buff, but we'll go to the fairy fountain. Hello, friend. Have you brought me an item? Not really. Nothing that I want to part with anyways. I think I'm solid with what I have going on right now. I don't think I want to sacrifice anything to you right now. The shop wouldn't have had anything for $4 anyways, because that's just how the shop goes. This mission, we have a VIP to protect, so this guy needs to survive, otherwise we don't get paid. Bad news is, every time we knock down one of this guy's brambles, he's going to hit us like a truck, in case you were wondering. And so, he doesn't have any attack of his own. He just keeps summoning more brambles that we have to deal with over and over and over again. This does kind of suck a little bit in its own way, just due to the fact that this hero is using up a slot for one of our extra fun time Skelly Boy buddies. However, his HP is dropping at like catastrophic levels. So we shouldn't have to survive much more than one round of this. And he put them all in the top row this time. Acceptable. Go ahead and run the armor. And like really, I'm more than willing to run this gimmick to the end of the game to see if it works. Because that's really all this game is. You start out and you try to put together the best gimmick that you possibly can to get past the final boss. And if your gimmick game is strong, then many, many rewards shall you receive. This game does have like replay modes, so like New Game Plus and stuff like that, in case you were wondering. I would like to see if I can replace the gnome. Like, he's kind of cool, but I don't know if he totally fits into what we have going on right now. An assassin, huh? That'd be kind of cool. I don't want to spend a bunch of money re-rolling these. I was just kind of hoping that I could top deck something good. Next fight. Alright, so the pack leader. He targets the lowest health enemy. It's understandable. Knock those bushes out of the way because it's free and I don't care. We'll get some armor there. Technically, I could have deployed him on the bottom row because they would have had to attack the brambles before they could get to my hero. That would have been really nice. It's okay, though. Oh, he attacked the... Well, thanks, man. You just helped me out. You just made my strategy way easier. There we go. Skeleton on the field. You love it. Let's go ahead. We got no souls left, so let's just run it back. This guy just got a buff, though. So that's going to be a little tiny bit of a headache. My poor little gnome guy might not make it. He might get got. Luckily, I'm not really leveling him up right now anyways, so it's not a huge concern. It's a minor annoyance, if nothing else. And when our characters die, we get free slimes that deal a bunch of damage. I think they're, like, slow, though. But if nothing else, we get we get free souls out of the exchange, because apparently little flaming, you know, slime, little flame boy slimes, they have a soul. Keep leveling up the front line. Let's see what we got inside this treasure chest. A shield, actually. A really, really good shield. A skirmisher's shield. Okay. I will put the skirmisher shield on you, because you are the lowest level, and thus I need to get your HP kind of somewhat comparative to the rest of my fighters in the front line, just for easier tracking. Kill off one of you. And I guess we'll just send it. The eyeballs tend to be pretty fast. So the gnome got to outact one of them, but the real thing is here, we need to knock down a few more things before this hero gets crunched on the... Yeah, exactly. It's kind of what I was worried about. The good news is he doesn't have any, like, major clumps of eyeballs around here that we have to deal with. Oh, he healed. Not. Oh, he summoned more. Lame. Okay. Keep our eye on the prize, then. We should have enough to neutralize most of his attack. This guy's going to get smacked with a curse at the end of this turn from that little shrine right there. But as long as we can kill off... Oh, he doesn't get... He just attacks for 4. Oh, I thought he had the same thing going on. Fair enough. Ow. Got a little heal back, but I think we should be able to close right here. Kind of depends where some of these attacks fly off to. And there's the closure. If you let these little gnome fighters continue to buff up the mages, man, they can turn the mages into real nightmares. Like, real problems for the enemy formation. We have enough gold right now to buy something from a store. He just hit level 3, which is great. Now it's 12 HP, and he gets 3 health back whenever he does his 2 soul heal thing. All right, let's carry on. We got a big red shield that gives 7 health. Wow. We've also got a, when this character kills an enemy, deal a damage to an enemy. When an ally dies, deal 1 damage to the nearest enemy. It's a really good shield. That's a pretty beefy boy shield right there. A pretty fantastic upgrade, if I'm being honest. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and see if we can tackle the boss, and then we'll call it a day. But this is the Dungeon Beneath. I think this game is really fantastic. It's got a prevailing meta that is a lot of fun. There's lots of variety in this game. There's tons of things to play around with. You've got elves, you've got dwarves, you've got humans, you've got lizard men, you've got the undead now. Like, there's tons of classes for each of those races, like 4 to 5 for each. They all have their own abilities and things going on that allow you to customize your experience. When you combine that with the fact that there's loads of relics that you can load up on every given run, and there's loads of equipment that you can use to further customize those characters as you get further and further on into the game, it ends up becoming a game that's got a tremendous quantity of replay value. It's a simple game, but it's a game that will get under your skin, much in the same way that stuff like Slay the Spire does, where you find yourself being like, yeah, I could play another round. It's just an absolutely fantastically fun game, and I can't recommend it highly enough. And the developers have showed a lot of support for the game as well over the years. They just continued to keep adding more awesome stuff to it. We're starting to take a little bit of attrition here. I don't like the way that this is going. I need him to be in a lane where I can actually, like, deal some damage to him. That's what I need. I have no souls either. That's where this strategy is going to fall apart, and so that's where I find that the undead struggle as a new faction. So the undead, their strength is that they are really good at dealing with enemies who summon a lot more enemies. However, the undead are fantastically terrible at dealing with anything that has a lot of HP that's very hard to kill. That's where they start to struggle bus quite a bit, because they can't get enough souls to actually capitalize on all their abilities. They need to actively be killing somebody basically every single turn Otherwise, they don't really get to do their full shtick. And so anyways, they make some things, and, you know, prior to this patch, all of the other factions tended to have trouble with summoners. And so, like, it's cool that they added a faction that sort of deals with that discrepancy in a very, very good way, while at the same time being kind of, like, unique. We'll put a sword on you. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, this guy can have a sword, too. Oh, it's a hero-only item. Gotcha. We get another relic, too. When an ally gains armor, they gain an extra 1. That might be nice. 6 souls. I think our only real option here is either a reroll or the Smith's Hammer. We'll go Smith's Hammer because we do have a guy spamming armor on all of our characters every single turn. But my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we are messing around with Dungeon Beneath for, I think, the 3rd time that we've covered a content update for this game. And that's just absolutely fantastic. I will catch you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. But up until then, it's time for me to go. Take care, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye.